Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we will be going over my semifinals team builder for the 8th season of the GPC. For the semifinal match, we will be going up against Ace Trainer Josh, coach of the Texas Turtwigs, and yeah, this will not this will not be an easy match. Luckily, I did win against Jacques. Not luckily, I'd say I played well enough to win, and I prepped well enough to win, but still, I won there, and now we're getting our chance at Demon number 2 to try to beat, because, to put it bluntly, Josh manhandled me in the season. Like, it wasn't close. I know he was very proud of the team he built, and I thought his build was pretty much perfect for the team, especially for the team I brought. But yeah. So, yeah, we're down to the Final Four. I am really happy to be here, and obviously now that we're here, our goal is to win a championship, because, I mean, why else are we here? It's down to me, Josh, and then on the other side, you should already know that Gareth actually beat Ben, and he will be going up against Johnny. So, yeah, top 4 right here, and yeah, really hoping to get past this game and get past Josh and settle this demon, the demon that defeated me in the season. But Josh isn't going to make that easy, obviously, and neither is his team, which I will go over right now. Josh's team consists of the Mega Mawile, the Latias, the Shaman, Heatran, Slowking, Piloswine, Alolan Ninetales, Garbodor, Alolan Persian, Shuckle, and Manectric. His Z users being Latias and the Alolan Persian. So, he's got a lot of threats on his team, but obviously the big one that stands out is that Mega Mawile. And like last time, again, it's not really Mawile stabs I'm worried about. It's more so the coverage that Mawile can get that just like decimates the rest of my team. Like I mean, obviously I have a Registeel. So, like, stabs, and I have a Toxapex. Like, stabs mean absolutely nothing with Mawile in this match. It's more so its coverage that it can get to just break down the walls that are meant to check the Mega Mawile. Other threats on his team, his Latias lines up really nicely, just based on my team. Basically because, like, I don't have necessarily the best, like, Dragon/Ice checks since last time. I believe his only attacking moves were Draco and Ice Beam. I know I wrote it down, but I don't have the book in front of me. I probably should have for this. But either way, yeah, he definitely picked up the Latias just for me, because I mentioned this in the last video, he drafted Salamence originally at a time when Latias was still on the board, and then he probably saw that he played me and said, hey, Latias, like, lines up a lot better against the guy with the Landers, so let's pick it up. But yeah, other than that, like, his Piloswine, like I mentioned before, in the last video, and the time I went up against the Donphan in week 1, ice ground coverage does really well against my team specifically, so I really have to watch out for that, as Piloswine is basically, like, it's going to come to this game, because I do have a Mega Manectric, and then also it just lines up offensively really well against my team, so I really expect Piloswine to come just like it did last time. And then other than that, he has like a lot of Pokemon that just like have good viability in general that I wouldn't be surprised if I see, like things like Shaman, Heatran, Slowking, Alolan Ninetales, even Alolan Persian. He brought Manectric last time. I don't think he brings Garbodor, because the only real thing Garbodor does for him in this match is check my Whimsicott, and he has a Heatran, which just does it insanely better. And then lastly, he has the Shuckle, which when you bring Shuckle, that means shenanigans. So, not as much shenanigans as if you had a Smeargle, but yeah, Shuckle just means shenanigans. So I kind of have to prepare for that. I mean, it's kind of whatever. And then obviously Alolan Persian can be a little bit annoying, but yeah, like I said, the big threats are definitely the Mawile, the Latias, and on the Piloswine defensively and offensively, like defensively mostly, but I mean can be offensively threatening. And then like the rest of the middle stuff, like the Shaman, Heatran, Slowking, Ninetales, like those could all come. I really don't know. It depends on what Josh wants to do. I know he brought Veil last time against me, and I guess I wouldn't really be surprised if he does again. But yeah, I think that's enough talking about Josh's team. So let's take a look at what I can bring to the table. First off, we start with Scarf Landorus, because I needed a Scarfer. Honestly, with Latias being a ridiculously good switch-in, like, he sped crept a lot for this, I know, in his match. Like, I know last time he brought Latias and Ninetales, which were speed creeping this. And realistically, like with those two mons specifically, especially with the coverage slash stab moves that they get, like having a not Scarf Landorus didn't really make sense because I brought Life Orb last time, which yes does a lot of damage, but I mean when you can't outspeed those Pokemon that are meant to check you, there's not like that Pokemon just becomes unviable. So we're running Scarf this time with Earth Power, Sludge Wave, U-turn, Knockoff. Knockoff is there for the Latias. Mostly U-turn to grab some momentum. Sludge Wave, I believe, is just here for the Shaymin as well. Shaymin and Ninetales. Otherwise, I don't really have things to hit those things that well. Mostly the Shaymin. Like Ninetales is kind of frail, but it's mostly for the Shaymin. And then Earth Power, obviously the main stab. We have enough special attack investment to Oko a max HP Mega Mawile, and I want to say this can still Oko a max Spadef Heatran. I might be wrong on that. I honestly don't remember. It definitely KOs max HP Heatran, that's for sure. I just don't remember if it guarantees an Oko on max Spadef. If it doesn't guarantee the Oko, then there's definitely a roll to Oko. But yeah, so there's not much to say about this Landorus. Like, I mean, it's Scarf. I've only brought Scarf Landorus once the rest of the season, so yes, I've shown it, and Scarf Landorus is like not totally unviable or like unpredictable or unheard of. But I just felt like in this match, especially the way this match went in the regular season, I really think Scarf lines up a lot better than Life Orb Landorus does in this match. So yeah, that's Landorus. Next up, we have Weavile with probably the set I should have brought last time. I'll be completely honest. It's the same spread as last time, which is outspeeding his Persian, which is his fastest mon. And then after that, like Knockoff, that's obvious. The big one though, I didn't bring Pursuit last time, and I definitely should have, because like there was an exact situation where it would have come in clutch, where he hard switched his Latias onto my Landorus. I U-turned out into Weavile, but I just clicked Knockoff because I didn't have Pursuit when I could have just clicked Pursuit. And I know that he did have Colbur Berry, but I'm pretty sure at the range it was at, it was a guarantee, if not a roll, to kill with Pursuit from there. And even if it was a roll and he lived, I think he died onto, I think he died on Rock Sentry after that. So yeah, I definitely should have brought Pursuit on this last time, and I'm not making the same mistake again. Again, I do think like this obviously has to come because he's bringing his Latias to check my Landorus. That's like a given, so this has to come. But yeah, I really think that like if Latias, I don't know, I was just looking. Anyways, if Latias comes, if it's not Z, it's going to be Colbur Berry again, which means that Icicle Crash has to come to dent it. I was thinking about Ice Shard here, but I mean, unless he runs Scarfers, this outspeeds his team, so I mean, Ice Shard didn't really make sense, and I'd rather just have the power, specifically because like Shaymin's a thing, and Ice Shard can't guarantee the KO on that. And yeah, Low Kick is here for pretty much anything that those things can't hit. Last time I ran Poison Jab for the Ninetales, but then this basically just gets hard-walled by Heatran, whereas like at least Low Kick hits the Ninetales neutrally. And besides, I'm not leaving this in on our Ninetales anyways. Yeah, Low Kick hits, does a min I think of like 78 to max HP Heatran, which is huge enough. I mean, considering it'd probably be especially defensive anyways. It hits the Piloswine, but I mean, I think I'd rather knock that off first and then hit with Low Kick. But yeah, anyway, like, I just think this is a really good Weavile for the match. I really missed Pursuit last time, so I'm not making the same mistake again, and I'm running it this time. And yeah, that's Weavile, not too much to say. But next up, we have definitely what's going to be the X factor of this match. The last time we played, I did not have Blaziken, I had Darmanitan instead. And he showed enough with, like, Protect Heatran that he prepared very heavily for Scarf Darmanitan, which, yeah, anyway, we'll get to that later, like in a later video, but yeah, Blaziken is here, and this is definitely going to be the X factor. He has very, very, very limited switch-ins to this Blaziken. This Blaziken is a very big threat to his team. Flamethrower guarantee, with this investment, Flamethrower guarantee Oko's max HP Mawile. It's Oko's offensive Shaymin after rocks. And I think it KOs offensive Ninetales, Alolan Ninetales. I don't think it KOs max HP. But yeah, then we get High Jump Kick, which guarantee Oko's max HP Piloswine. It guarantees Oko's max HP Heatran. It kills the Manectric, it kills the Persian. It's And then, yeah, those are really the only things I need to hit. Shadow Claw is here. Like, I was told I should run Knockoff instead, but I don't agree with that, especially because, like, yes, with these two moves, Latios is the switch-in, but again, last time Josh ran Culver Berry. And I think with a Weavile on my team in general, that his Psychic types would run Culver Berry instead. So Shadow Claw guarantees that I don't, that, like, the attacks don't get weakened. So Shadow Claw is a guaranteed 2-hit KO on offensive Latios. The only thing, really, that I want to say, like, gives this set trouble is Slowking, which I think Shadow Claw does, like, if it's physically defensive, I think Shadow Claw does like 34 to 43 or something like that. So obviously I'm gonna have to weaken that quite a bit. But honestly, barring the Slowking, which I think is kind of a legitimate bring, but at the same time, if he has to bring Pilot's Mind to check Mega Manectric, maybe he doesn't bring the Slowking. He didn't bring it last time, so maybe he changes his mind. But yeah, like this thing has the potential to be like either a late game sweeper or a mid game breaker, like depending on what I desperately need for the match. But yeah, having agility here also gives it the potential to late game sweep, which we have enough speed, by the way, for after agility I outspeed his fastest Scarfers, so that's why this speed investment's here. Which this isn't enough speed for max speed Tran. I don't think he brings max speed Tran. Just because I have this, pretty much. I don't think he brings max speed Tran, but he did bring a speedy Heatran last time to outpace my Uxie. And this still has enough speed. He was, with his Tran, he was speed creeping Modest X-Cloud. And this does have enough speed to outspeed that. But yeah, I think this is going to be the X factor in this match. He has very limited switch-ins to this and can perform either mid-game breaking or late-game cleaning potential, depending on however I really need to use it for the match. So yeah, that's Blaziken. I really think this is going to put in a lot of work. Mega Ultra Chicken making its real debut since I didn't get to bring it in week 10. But yeah, next up we have Whimsicott, and again, like I said last time, because he has the Shuckle, I am pretty much forced to bring Defog on this because I am not letting Web screw me over. In my friendly leagues, I've let Web screw me over way too many times because I am just an idiot and just forget about them. But yeah, last time I ran like max speed, max HP, like utility heavy, and I realized that's not really what does well in this match. I think this set will do a lot better. I think having offensive Whim is just better for this match. I know Z Energy Ball is here because it OHKOs, like when Veil isn't up. Well, I guess I have Infiltrator, so Veil doesn't really matter. But Max Energy Ball OHKOs, Z Energy Ball OHKOs Max HP Piloswine. Again, Hidden Power Ground here for the Heatran, just like last time, and then U-turn here because other than the HP Ground, Heatran's a pretty likely switch into this, or I can just like again use U-turn to scout what his switch-ins to this are. And I think the pivots into like any free pivots I can get into Blaziken for this match are definitely going to be useful because, like I said, he has very limited switch-ins, and I don't really need. I mean, like, I guess I should try to predict with my Blaziken just because there is the possibility that. I mean, okay, Josh is a good player. He's gonna notice that, hey, Blaziken has a really good matchup against him, so he'll probably run Protect for High Jump Kick on some of his Mons, like mostly the Tran and the Piloswine, I'm thinking. But at the same time, if he watched my Week 10 recap, he would know that I ran Superpower on it, on Blaziken, or I was going to run Superpower for, like, specifically for that reason with the, Protect Wish Umbreon potential. So maybe he thinks I run Superpower instead, but actually I'm running High Jump Kick. But yeah, so like there's a chance I need to scout around with the Protects thing, but the only unfortunate thing if I go back to Blaziken, like Blaziken doesn't take hits very well this match. I know Play Rough OHKOs Blaziken from Mawile, so I pretty much, like, I don't need to click High Jump Kick on that though. I can just click Flamethrower very freely on that, and if he switches into Heatran, then maybe I'm in a bit of trouble. But yeah, I still think he has very limited switch-ins to this like combination of moves. I still think Blaziken's going to put in a lot of work, and yeah, back to the Whimsicott here. Again, I need a Defog because of the webs, and I mean, possibility of Veil is also a thing. He didn't bring Shuckle last time, so I really don't know if it shows up again, but I have to bring Hazard Removal for it. Like, I am not getting screwed over by webs. I'll be so mad at myself if I do. But yeah, other than that, like, I could have run Prankster for Defog, but I don't know. I still think it's very unlikely that he brings Shuckle just because he didn't bring it last time. Because like at that time, it was very unclear that we were gonna play again. Also, at the same time, it was very unlikely, or at least it seemed unlikely at the time that I was even gonna make playoffs. So who knows? Maybe like I don't know. I just need Defog here. Prankster might be better if he does get to set up webs before I can Defog, but Infiltrator's here because like if he brings in, like I just need Infiltrator if he ends up getting Veil up, and I can like KO the Piloswine underneath web, or sorry, behind Veil, and then for HP ground to actually do something against the Heatran basically. Oh yeah, again, not too much to say about this Whimsicott. It's just an offensive defogger. I think I've brought like I mean offensive defogging isn't like uncommon. I want to say it's pretty common. So yeah, that's Whimsicott, not too much to say, but what we do have to say about this match, oh my god, I can't believe I'm bringing this. My friend Sean, who gave me the Chris Registeel idea, gave me this idea to deal with Josh's Mega Mawile. You're thinking, like, what, like, Brandon, what is this move? That's probably what you're thinking. Well, I thought about it more, and like, the original idea was you skill swap the Mega Mawile so it loses its huge power, which there's like pretty much 3 options that it goes for, or like there's three ways this plays out. Either, well, I guess 4. Okay, so either he goes for Sucker Punch and it fails, and then I get the skill swap for free. I skill swap because I'm naturally faster than max speed Mawile, and then he attacks and it doesn't do an insane amount. It does like half of what it would normally do. Or I skill swap and he gets a sub up, and then that's still a little scary, but with huge power, with this investment, like when I have huge power after skill swap, I do guarantee 2-hit KO max HP Mawile. But yeah, the other option that I mentioned, which those are the first thing, the other option is he switches out and I skill swap. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that like skill swapping something else isn't going to be inherently bad on Josh's team. So the only 2 like I want to like of the likely brings he has, the only 2 Pokemon that like really have like freedom to switch in on a skill swap are Latias and Alolan Ninetales. Latias because they have the same ability, Alolan Ninetales because Snow Warning will already be activated and it doesn't really matter. But with the rest of it, it actually helps out Uxie. Like, it benefits Uxie more than I think it benefits the other Pokemon that's getting it. So, well, like, I guess we'll get into it. But yeah, so with Shaman, if I'm toxic, I trace Natural Cure, and I can switch out and cure whatever status I have. Excuse me. If he switches in Heatran, then I copy its Flash Fire, and his fire attacks I'm immune to. Granted, he could have Earth Power, but I still think, like, he did have Earth Power last time, but I still think me being immune to his Fire-type attacks, especially with me getting rid of his Fire-type attacks, with me getting rid of his Fire immunity, and then being able to Fire Punch freely, I think is fine. Slowking, I trace Regenerator, and that's great. Piloswine, I don't really gain too much from, I guess I take Icicle Crashes better from Piloswine, not to mention get rid of his quote-unquote, I guess, his neutrality to fire. Now he's actually weak to fire. I mean, obviously after that I would knock off the Eviolite after that. But Alolan Persian, same thing. Like, it loses its Fur Coat ability, so now it's not physically bulky and pretty much anything can take it out. Garbodor, I guess it depends, but I mean, he could be running Aftermath, and then I would gain the Aftermath if he makes contact with me and knocks me out somehow. Like, the more, and even Manectric. Like, Manectric could easily run Lightning Rod, which I think is the more likely choice if I have a Mega Manectric on my team. But yeah, so it was meant as a meme and a fun way to counter the Mega Mawile and an unexpected way to counter Mega Mawile, because like I said, if you just bring a bunch of standard sets to to a playoff match, I really don't think your chances of winning are like slumping, because like playoffs are supposed to be the point where you bring some sort of unpredictability. So it was supposed to be just a stupid, unpredictable way to counter Mega Mawile, but the more I thought about it, like, the more it just makes sense in general. Not makes sense, but is a less of a risk to bring this move. So yeah, I actually really like this. I really like, if I have Uxie and Mawile in at the same time, there's really no bad time to go for the skill swap right away. So I'll probably do that. And then as for the rest of the coverage, like I said, once I copy Mawile's huge power, then Fire Punch is a guaranteed Oko onto Mega Mawile, and the rest of it knock off for utility, U-turn for momentum. Now it seems weird to have skill swap and U-turn, but I mean, skill swap was really only here, like, not necessarily to give Uxie power, but to take away Mega Mawile's power. And the rest of the investment I put into bulk. I was originally thinking about putting enough speed in here to outspeed the same Tran that he brought last time, but then I remembered he brought trapping Heatran and said it had a really good matchup against me. So I really don't want to have a fast U-turn on that. If that's the case, I would rather him just Magma Storm me, and then I would U-turn out after the Magma Storm and U-turn into either Landorus or Blaziken to offensively pressure it. Like I said, it was a hard decision, but eventually I just saw that playing out. I'll be completely honest, especially with the likelihood now that Heatran probably brings Toxic. But yeah, that's Uxie. I really hope this does well. I think this actually won't be that bad in this match. I think it will actually be very good, especially considering that, like, in general, in competitive, a lot of what makes a Pokemon viable in general, especially the low tier stuff, or like the not high tier stuff, I guess, is its ability. So yeah, I think skill swap is actually not bad for here. Lastly, we have Registeel, which, I'll be honest, I should have brought last time. What I it's been a while since I've built that team, but what I imagined happened was I had Registeel on the original team, and my front office said, no, it's bad in this matchup. For whatever reason, they just wanted me to go full offense, and I just didn't bring Registeel. Realistically, I should have brought Registeel last time. Like, straight up. Yeah, this is by far the best switching I have to, like, since I'm Fizdef, I take non-Brick Break hits from Mawile relatively well. I take any special hit from Latias, since, like, we saw last week with Jacques how, like, max attacking Raikou does to just max HP Registeel. It's not that much, and that was a neutral hit. And the coverage that Mega Latias is going to have, I am predicting to be resisted by Registeel. And then obviously this is a switch into the Alolan Ninetales, but at the same time, Josh last time ran Hypnosis, predicting my switch into Registeel on the Alolan Ninetales. So if that happens, like, I heavily debated running Chestoberry on this, just for that play. But at that same token, if he hits the first Hypnosis when I switch in, then the Chestoberry's burned, and then there's still always that chance that he hits the second one. It's only a 25% chance to hit hit both in a row, but I mean, it's 2 coin flips. Like, it seems unlikely to happen, but there's still a pretty good possibility that it happens. But yeah, so again, with the kind of heat that we were running with the Uxie, I just felt it more comfortable to run a rather standard Registeel, especially since I didn't have a rocker at the time. Iron Head has to be here for the Ninetales. That's a no-brainer. Earthquake is here so I can actually touch the Mega Mawile and the Heatran. And then this is the last move. Like, I'm still not sure about this Toxic, but for some of the bulkier stuff that are, like, maybe brings, like the Podleswine, like the Slowking, like the Alolan Persian, I feel like this is just gonna serve Registeel best in general, as opposed to, like, some other kind of filler move that I really wouldn't be sure of. I did debate Curse, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't want to bring the same set as last time, because, like, then that becomes too easy for my opponent to build around. Yeah, and then we're aggressively creeping the Mega Mawile. I'm not sure how many EVs he wants to, like, if he watches my team builders consistently, he should know that I usually run 20 speed in my defensive mons. But I'm running a little bit heavier on that just in case he decides to creep that. Last time he ran 12 EVs and speed on his Mega Mawile, so that like I am just being very, very aggressive with my speed creeping, and it doesn't really change the damage rolls all that much. It's nothing too insane. But yeah, so that is the team for the semifinals of the GPC. I guess you guys can let me know what you guys think down below, whether you think this team will do well, or whether you think I left something on the bench that should be here. But other than that, yeah. Oh fuck, I did it again. Go check out Josh. His link will be in the description below, as well as links to all the coaches. But like I said, the top 4 are myself, Josh, Gareth, and Johnny. So right now, you should really only check those guys out if you want like current content. But I'm sure all of them have like great past content. But yeah, so keep your eye out on the channel tomorrow for when the battle goes live. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.